My amplified unit amped up for Monday, May the 1st, 2023. First day of May. Time is flying by. We're already into the 5th month of 2023. I can't even comprehend how fast these days tick away, bro. It seems like just yesterday we were talking WrestleMania. And would you guys believe it if I told you that was a month ago today? WrestleMania was a month ago today. We're talking about Backlash this Saturday night. A card that leaves a lot more to be desired. A card that is literally the backlash of miserable, pathetic, unacceptable booking from WrestleMania. Everything rode on that decision. No pun intended. But everything rode to that or on that decision. Sunday night, April 2nd, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And when Cody lost that match, it was clear WWE had nothing afterwards. There was no continuation of the story just because Hunter Hearst Helmsley said, wait, there's more to the story. Don't get too upset now. No. You see, first of all, there's not more to the story. That's fucking clear as day. In fact, one dude just got drafted to Raw. The other dude got drafted over to SmackDown. Cody Rhodes obviously doesn't need to win Money in the Bank and hold a briefcase to win a championship off of Roman. No, of course not. Him winning the WWE Championship doesn't even make sense. Thankfully, I'm hearing they're strongly considering a different option, and that's what we're actually going to talk about in this podcast for Monday, May 1st, 2023. Drew McIntyre, not Seth Rollins. Could it be McIntyre taking that championship? The runners-up championship. The participation trophy championship is what everybody's calling it, but Drew could make that relevant, actually. Somebody like Rollins, it just doesn't make sense to BC. Somebody like Cody Rhodes, it doesn't make sense to BC. Cody Rhodes should have defeated Roman at Mania. That is obvious now more than ever. Everybody that doubted BC from the beginning, you have found out in the 4 weeks since. You found out the day after on Raw that it didn't make sense when Brock Lesnar took out Cody Rhodes for no reason. To this day, they don't have a reason. Michael Cole thinks it's because Brock went on first at Mania and not last. It makes no sense. Obviously, the original plan, had they went with Cody Rhodes and not put their egos to the front of the table and their pettiness as the main course on that table, if they just went with the original plan, everything would have made sense. Roman goes away for a month or two after Mania. Go on your vacation, sip your margaritas, your martinis, and you'll be fine. Come back as a more diabolical heel, trying to win back your fucking title. The story will be fresh, exciting, intriguing. This Roman's even better than the last Roman. And Cody Rhodes gets to be attacked by Brock Lesnar for a reason. Brock is attacking Cody because he couldn't take on Roman at all anymore from their last stipulation. He's waiting for a new champion. Well, guess what? It just fucking happened. It is indeed Cody Rhodes, and Brock wasted zero time attacking Cody. You go to Backlash, Puerto Rico this Saturday. The main event is for the championship. There's meaning behind it. People are invested. No. Instead, you kept the title on Roman. He still went home for the last 4 to 5 weeks, sipping martinis and margaritas. Having no sight of this dude, no word of him, nobody gives a shit. Hunter Hearst Helmsley has to come up with a whole new runners-up championship, a participation championship, because nobody else can beat the dude, supposedly. So here's another title to fight over. It's like the U.S. title. It's like an IC title, but even more devalued. Awesome. Thanks, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. 3 H's. Roman's on vacation. Brock and Cody is the main event of Backlash. Still for no reason. We don't even know why this would even happen, why it's happening. And when we don't know why, the majority of the fans cannot fully appreciate or get intrigued with or be excited about a match that doesn't have purpose. BC tried to raise all of these issues that night of the big botch Sunday, April 2nd, WrestleMania Night 2. Instead, a lot of the community was like, I like the idea. This could be special. It's gonna get Roman to 1,000 days. which thank you for that. Big thanks, because now you just told WWE you're okay with these milestones. So now we're hearing WWE wants to go well past 1,000 and go to 1474, which is Hulk Hogan's record. Thank you for allowing that. And then they said, well, it's okay because Cody needs more struggle and adversity. Well, thanks a lot, because now no matter what happens next, the moment will be devalued. If Cody wins at SummerSlam, if Cody wins at next year's Mania, if Cody wins in 10 years from now, you'll get your adversity and struggle. Meanwhile, the rest of us that use common sense and logic, we will be over it by then. You'll never get a big moment like you did at WrestleMania. You squandered it, you fucked it up, you botched it. That's what WWE did, and that's what everybody that thought it was a right decision, that's what you did. You squandered it, you bitched out on it, you fucked it up, you botched it. Take the L. Sometimes we got to take L's in life. BC takes them all the time. This is one where the people that thought he needed adversity and struggle, you take a massive L because you shit on anything that could have been good going forward. Nothing makes sense, because what you did is you gave WWE the benefit of the doubt that they would tell proper stories going forward after Mania. I like the struggle and adversity. I like that Roman's still champion. Cody wasn't ready yet. And now all of that you can bundle up into a ball, shine it up, stick it up your fucking ass, throw the shit up, regurgitate it, whatever you gotta do, shine it up again, repeat the process steps 1, 2, and 3. That's what you're doing right now. Nothing has made sense since Sunday night, April 2nd. And now here we are, a month past that, and still nothing makes sense. Backlash is this Saturday night, and you're telling me something makes sense? Bullshit. You ain't lying to BC. You just be lying to yourself. Anyway, I guess that's the cold open, man. I don't know. All I said was it's May 1st. I couldn't believe time flew, and then it reminded me, wait, WrestleMania was April 1st and April 2nd. It's been a full month, and then that got me thinking about the Cody Rhodes situation, and then I thought, well, shit, Saturday night is Cody versus Brock in the main event. No title, no reasoning, no care behind it. So, of course, I had to correlate the two, right? I had to transition from WrestleMania to Backlash because that's what we're doing. It's called Backlash. Well, there's definitely backlash, more like whiplash from the absurdity, the bullshit crash that happened on Sunday, April 2nd. And now we're all getting whiplash from that fucking event. And now we have to go through it again Saturday night and hope that they have something special planned. Nothing in this company has made sense since WrestleMania Night 2. That's how we know factually that it was a bad call to keep the title on Roman Reigns. And now, careful what you wish for, you just might get it. You made your bed, now you gotta lie in it. Those type of quotes, well, if they ever rang true, it would be never more truer than right now. You're about to get a 1,500-day Roman reign for Roman Reigns. You're about to get Cody facing adversity and struggle because he ain't gonna see the fucking title for the longest time. And if he does, it's gonna be the participation trophy. And that is all that would be. You talk about a diminished, devalued moment that has no prestige whatsoever. Try having Cody Rhodes win this fucking bullshit championship. Try it. And you watch the reaction, and then you go back to WrestleMania, and you listen, and you watch the electricity that was about to erupt at full throttle voltage. And then you see Cody win this fucking runner-up title. Let's see how that works out. Seth Rollins is the same fucking thing. Seth Rollins started to get over when we started to sing, whoa, whoa. So him winning a fucking title does what? Is that really going to captivate the interest of everybody? Or are we just going to yell, you deserve it? You deserve it. Like fucking a bunch of sheep, a pack of idiots. And do the fucking song like a pack of zombies from The Walking Dead. We'll do that for 12 minutes every time he comes out. He'll have a shiny new fucking title around his shoulder. Like that worked for the United States Championship. It didn't do shit for Seth Rollins. So you think giving him a bigger title supposedly is going to help this dude? He needs more than a song. He needs to quit the fucking weird, outlandish outfits and get back to business. I love characters. But I don't know what this character is for Seth Rollins. I don't think he knows what it is. Half the time he's playing the Joker type. The other type, he's architect Seth Rollins, I feel. He doesn't know who it is. And if that's the case, just drop it. Be true to who you are. You will get over again naturally, or you won't. Sometimes you got to be placed in the middle of the ocean and see if you can sink or swim. It's only going to help you in the process. If you completely sink, hopefully you'll resurface and then go back to the drawing board. But it's going to take more than everybody being zombies and singing a song for me to anoint Seth Rollins the next champion of everything because he's super over. No, I've seen people sing songs before. Doesn't mean they're super over. This character was not working before the portion of the song got into his song. I don't need anybody to confirm it for me or double down in the accuracy of the statement. I already know its accuracy. I already can confirm it. It's facts. So no, what is the consolation prize? Rollins wins a fucking participation trophy. Cody wins the participation trophy. No, I got a better idea. And word is that this idea could actually and is actually coming to fruition. I'm going to talk all about that, Drew McIntyre, in just a little bit. We're also going to talk the draft. The last time I was with you guys was back in April. Of course, having a little bit of fun with that. That was just 2 nights ago. But 3 nights ago, whatever it was, Friday night, SmackDown, the big draft night 1. Well, BC was with you guys live. We're going to go over who was drafted where. And after SmackDown, within the next 24 hours, the lowdown, they called it, more superstars were drafted to Raw and SmackDown. So I wasn't able to go over those names with you. I am going to do that in this Amped Up podcast, and we're going to look forward to tonight's Monday Night Raw, the full list of eligible roster members to be drafted tonight. The ones that are eligible, they split the list in half. We're going to go over those names, and BC's going to give you his top 5 picks. If I was a general manager of Raw, for instance, and I had control of the picks, if they're still on the table, these are the 5 I would grab. I'll let you guys know. And a couple of those are actually in a team format, so it would be more than 5. We'll go over all of the draft news coming up as well. Couple of things, first and foremost. Number 1, to Fleck Guapo, man. I don't know if I caught this in the super chats when I was taken off, but you were the last super chat. I may have missed it. Talking about the Knicks and hoping that they reach the Eastern Conference Finals. As a big Knicks fan, you know that's the dream. That's the hope. Also, as a Knicks fan, Fleck Guapo, highly unlikely knowing this team for the last couple of decades. This team has heart, passion, amplification, but like you saw in Game 1 with the Heat, we can implode, snap of a finger, blink of an eye, drop of a hat. So, Fleck Guapo, appreciate you, brother. A couple of super thankses from that last stream as well, from the comments afterwards. It's called Super Thanks. It's just tipping the channel. Sean Cena with a 10-spot, couple of coffees. I caught that. Sean Cena, I appreciate you, brother. We will absolutely be talking about those subjects much more. Maybe even a little bit in this Amped Up podcast, but also within the next several days, because John Cena wants us to talk about Trinity in Impact, and she's already making that impact, so we absolutely will be discussing that. And also John Cena, thank you, and Ash Stifler Steggles with that 2-spot. Sorry I missed the live stream, but why did they draft the Raw Women's Champion to SmackDown? Because they're stupid, and they thought just switching the titles is going to be fun and make the titles prestigious, right? Raw champion Bianca Belair is just going to hand Rhea Ripley the Raw title when she gets drafted tonight to Raw, and Rhea is just going to hand Bianca the blue title. Just because they got drafted. See what I mean? Like, the Raw title is supposed to mean something to Bianca, right? As she says it does. It's supposed to have value, right? It's supposed to be and feel prestigious. You're not supposed to take the Raw title and just hand it over, just exchange it with the blue title because you got drafted and go, okay, well, it's the same thing. I'm still a WWE Women's Champion. It's just the blue brand now. No, it's supposed to carry weight and value and be prestigious. You're supposed to That's supposed to be one of the most important things to you. Your desire, your passion, your amplification for this business and industry is supposed to be in that title, and you're just going to hand it over for a different colored title and call it the same thing. I don't know, Stifler Steggles. I wish I could tell you, man. I was live when those drafts happened, and Bianca's draft happened to SmackDown, and I tell you all about how I feel live. So hopefully by now you've caught in that. So a couple of super thankses and a missed super chat. I wanted to get to you guys first. Appreciate you guys big time. A couple of news stories while I was away for the weekend that are just absolutely... Well, one of them's absolutely false. Asuka requesting her release. That's bullshit, guys. Do I feel she's in the doghouse with the WWE and not seeing eye to eye? No doubt. I think she knew herself and heard the rumblings from the wrestling planet that she had to win at WrestleMania. It was going to do more for her in victory than it would Bianca Belair in defeat. And instead, they went Bianca over Kana Asuka. And we saw there was no reason because Bianca just got drafted over to SmackDown anyway, and she's going to be carrying the blue brand title from here on out. She said on SmackDown, she said, I'm looking forward to holding that title again. It always meant so much to me. She's confirming that they're just switching the titles. They're just exchanging them. So why not just have Asuka have this huge moment, and then you could just send Belair over there and win the title the right way? It makes no sense. Instead, you just squash Kana Asuka yet again. She's 0-5 at WrestleMania, I believe. She's never even won a WrestleMania. And then you take the title from Belair anyway, and you have her start fresh and new with a blue title on the other brand. It doesn't make sense. And now Kana Asuka's over here clearly frustrated. You saw the post that she put up. Half of it is in humor, and the other half was, it's stinging the locker room. She sent a zinger to the locker room with the post that she put up the day after WrestleMania. And we haven't seen Asuka since. We'll talk about if she's eligible in this draft because a couple of huge names are not eligible tonight, and they weren't on Friday either. We'll talk about Asuka and her eligibility tonight, but we have not seen her. I think she's been in the doghouse. I don't think WWE suits and ties have been happy with her for what she said after Mania. But you know what? If I'm Kana Asuka, I'm not happy with you, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and anybody else that calls themselves a suit and tie in that locker room. Because I'm not happy with you because I know I'm one of the best in the business and you keep screwing me over at WrestleMania. 0-5 Asuka? No, doesn't make sense. And again, if you want it to make sense to BC, then you're going to have to do the work and make it make sense. But a few weeks later, drafting Bianca over to SmackDown and having her hand over her Raw title in an exchange, that's why she had to defeat Kana Asuka and squash any type of rhythm or momentum that Asuka had with the new Kana personality. It doesn't make sense. And that's the theme of WrestleMania Night 2. Sunday, April 2nd. When people go, basically, you got to get over the Cody Rhodes thing with Roman, man. You got to get over that. You keep bringing it up. Basically, you got to get over the Asuka thing with Bianca. You keep bringing it up. We can't. We can't do it because everything that happens now is a direct cause and effect from WrestleMania. So you want me to just forget about that and talk about what is happening now. We can't talk about what is happening now without bringing that up because now we have a main event Saturday that shouldn't even be taking place. We don't know why Brock attacked Cody, and it doesn't even have a title on the line. Why is this a main event? Nobody knows. Nobody gives a fuck. Kana Asuka hasn't been seen. She had all the momentum riding in the Mania, then she's not even seen afterwards. We're hearing she's in the doghouse with suits and ties. Bianca's fucking just exchanging her title anyway, the Raw title. That's going to be finished with her after tonight. So before I go on and on about that, let me just get back to the point here, all right? Asuka is, yes, suits and ties may indeed be pissed. Hunter Hearst might be pissed. That's fine. Okay, the decisions were made that shouldn't have been, and Asuka has every right to be pissed. How's that? But if they want to be pissed for what she put out there or her not being on board with certain booking decisions, I support Asuka fully over the company. But it's not to the point where she's asking for a release, guys. She already came out and had to debunk that. It's sad that she had to do that. And it's sad that what people will do for clickbait and for views, you had dirt sheets, content creators, podcasters jumping on this. And I was like, come on, man, there's no truth to that. So don't even format it in a way where people would think that she asked for her release. But no, and when that happens, they just jump on board and everybody, Asuka asked for her release. Man, we got to get those views. No, bro. No, come on, man. That's BS, and it's gonna put Asuka in a bad light. Anyway, she did not ask for her release, guys. No. In fact, her latest post says red or blue. She's teasing her next move in the draft. Everybody relax. I'm not happy with her booking either. I'm okay with there being tension with WWE. It's long overdue, and that company needs to know she's not happy. And we'll see what this new, if she gets drafted somewhere else. We'll talk about if she's even in the draft, because we're going to go over the draft participants for tonight. Obviously, she wasn't in the blue brand. I can fucking speak. Blue bland? It's been pretty fucking bland. The blue brand pool of talent. She was not in that. So we're going to see if she's in the red brand. And to be honest, I have the list right here. I don't even know if she is. We're going to find out together when we go over this list. But first, before I go over any draft news, hold on. Another thing I want to talk about. CM Punk, Phil Brooks was at Impact, and now people are going, well, business was conducted, I'm being told. He talked to some of the suits and ties about business and being in Impact Wrestling. Guys, I did not hear anything about that. In fact, I heard the opposite. This is literally Brooks doing what Brooks does. What that is, nobody knows. The guy is a fucking tool to the most epic of levels. This guy just goes into business for himself. He amuses himself. And I guess that's why some people like the dude. If you're like BC, it's nauseating. Covering anything that CM Punk does is absolutely nauseating to me. The fact that I have to do it. It's covering professional wrestling. And there's certain fans out there that just refuse to get off this guy's balls. They just swing on him from the morning they wake up to the time they go to bed. It's just about Brooks's balls. And there's so many fans that just do not get off this dude's nuts. Anything that I say about Punk, well, basically, maybe it's the Elite that was in it too, man. It's not just Punk's fault. No, why are we comparing? Nobody said the Elite was totally innocent. The Elite did not go into a media scrum with everybody watching and all of the dirt sheets and all the fucking media, which is just fucking podcasters, a bunch of I'm going to be nice, BC, here, right? Because we have a lot to talk about still. I'm going to be nice, BC, here. You're getting a rare occurrence. Your media, and it's going to make its rounds. You're live on many platforms at that point, and you're going to go and challenge the entire locker room to a fight. And you're going to run suits and ties, whether you like them or agree they should be or not. You're going to run them into the ground. You're going to say certain people couldn't even manage a target. You talk all this shit. You play the tough guy, and then you're shocked when people went to the locker room. And now we compare it. Why are we even comparing? Phil Brooks burns bridges everywhere he goes. Maybe it's not everybody else's fault as much as Brooks. Maybe you're just clinging on his fucking balls too often, too firmly. Get off of his balls. Goodness gracious, man. This dude's coming back again to AEW, and we got to do this still, man. I'm so... it's nauseating. I wish it was AJ Lee. I wish if it wasn't for Phillip Brooks, AJ Lee, we would have seen her a lot more than just fucking around with WoW. She would have came back to WWE to say hello a few times. I don't even care about fucking wrestling. She already debunked that she has a neck injury that would keep her out of wrestling for good. She already debunked that that's not the case. She actually could come back and wrestle. No. But of course, Phil Brooks threw his fucking tantrum, and you didn't see AJ Lee ever fucking since. A big reason for that? Phillip motherfucking Brooks. Instead, we get Phillip Brooks coming back. And burning that bridge too, by the way. Then he goes back to every locker room. He was at Raw in Chicago. Luckily, thankfully, they booted him out. He was at Impact. He's like, well, shit, man, Impact won't boot me out. I'm going to be like a god there, man. I'm going to be like a fucking saint there, man. I'm going to be like the king, the King Godiva there, man. I'm going to be the fucking king, man. So I don't know if they booted him or not. Yeah, I don't know if they booted him or not. They probably did treat him like he was a fucking royal member of wrestling. He cut one good promo in Las Vegas. Get off his nuts. If you're a unit member, that will no longer be tolerated. You can like him, you can be a fan. I am not tolerating any fucking Phil Brooks nutsack clinching from here on out. I don't know what the fucking dude's up to. He's going to every other roster but AEW. Maybe he's trying to get people to talk like he's gonna sign with WWE, and then when they find out that he got booted, he got upset, so he's like, I'm gonna go to Impact, man, they won't boot me, and then people will talk about me signing with them. Nobody cares if you're going back to AEW, dude. Just fucking try to not be the fucking jerk-off this time. I know that's a lot to ask, but you see, he was there to say hello to Trinity, man. He's such good friends with Trinity, basically. It's in Chicago, basically. Dude knows what he's doing. AEW's paying you a boatload of money. A boatload. How about you fucking visit your locker room, whether it's in Chicago or not? How about you fucking try to make amends with them? It's almost like sticking your middle finger up at them and going, well, I get along with all these other rosters. It's them that don't like me. Right? Everything this dude does, there's a reason behind it. Right? And it's always just for him. He doesn't give a fuck about how anybody else looks. He wants to make sure. So when this news story broke that Tony Khan's going to have to split the roster, so anybody that wants to work with Phil Brooks, they can go to Saturday Night Collision 8 to 10 o'clock on the new AEW show. And they need a new show, by the way, like they need to get hit by a Mack truck. They don't need another show, especially if they're going to do business this way. So this is almost like Phil Brooks trying to show everybody that, see, I get along with rosters. I'm showing up everywhere. I don't know why they don't want to work with me. So I don't know what the dude's doing, but guys, he's not signing with Impact. Stop. He wants you to talk like he is. I wouldn't doubt he got booted by them too, and I wouldn't blame them for booting him. Trust me when I say this, as a podcaster, started from nothing, thankfully got successful. Appreciate that, guys. Take it from me, somebody who has to cover all these big stories. It is nauseating covering this fucking guy. I see a guy that to me looks 5'9", tops, 165 pounds soaking wet. I mean, that's what he looks like anyway. It looks like he never hits the fucking gym. And he's hanging on the fucking Las Vegas promo. That's all he does. I tell you, man. I tell you. I don't see what everyone else sees. And the wrestling ability, he's average AF. And I'm being generous. He's below average in terms of wrestling, especially today, sadly. Don't even get me started today. All he's good for now is just getting injured time after time. He had 2 major injuries and 2 minor injuries, and he's only had a handful of AEW matches in a year. And he just got a year older, and he's going to be more miserable and more fucking... more of a joy to work with in the locker room. You heard all of his words at that media scrum. I'm older, I'm more miserable, I'm angry, I'm bitter, I'm pissed. He's always bitter. He's a bitter person, and bitter doesn't work. Bitter isn't gonna fucking pay the bills, man. You want to stick around? Take that fucking bitter chip off of your shoulder. It's okay to have chips on your shoulder. Take the bitterness away, man. Take the bitterness away. Try to have some friends in the business. It's not gonna hurt you, bro. Stop burning bridges, bro. Stop acting like you're better than the business, bro. Relax. RELAX. A little bit of Aaron Rodgers for you, Phillip Brooks. So I can't believe that that's what I had to talk about. My first video in May, and I'm talking about fucking people want to know, did Punk sign with Impact? No, he's just fucking doing what Punk does. Stupid shit. And the fans of Punk will fucking ride his fucking ball sack and say, it's amazing. Wow, he's an Impact. He's got friends there, obviously. It's in Chicago. Wow, what an honorable guy to show up and say hi to everybody. I like Phillip Brooks. Does anybody have water? I don't know why. Phil Brooks fans, that's how they sound to me. And at least to me, that's how Phil Brooks sounds. Like a bunch of beavers talking to each other. Anyway, guys, that's what I guess had to talk about. That's what everyone's like, oh my goodness. Asuka asked for her release, basically. No, she didn't. CM Punk was at Impact and talked to management about employment. No, he didn't. Absolutely false and false. Double false there, guys. Did not happen. By the way, Carmella announced her pregnancy recently. I already kind of knew that beforehand. People down in Florida were already talking about that. And, but that was not one of the things that's not a breaking news story to me. When she wants to say that her and Corey are having a baby, that's up to them. That's not for anybody to ruin for them. So I kept what I knew. I kind of kept tight-lipped. But congratulations, Carmella into Corey Graves. This is their second attempt. The first time went haywire and did not go according to plan. And they took that hard, real hard, Carmella especially. So they bounced right back, man. And I thought she was taken off TV rather suspiciously. And then after that, it didn't look like there was an injury. There was none they were talking about. I kind of knew there, and then I heard what I heard. And good for them. Carmella, pregnant. She will be out of action for the next year plus. Obviously. You know, she's not just going to pop out a baby and then jump right back into a wrestling ring. Even Becky Lynch had to take some time on that. Chavo clarified some comments last week where the wrestling world was like, what are you talking about, bro? Chavo Guerrero was talking about how Rey Mysterio just hangs on the legacy of Eddie Guerrero, and he does it too often, too much. Just too much, man. Too often he does it. And Chavo Guerrero, a little bit out of character. A little of the interview was like in character, and a lot of it was like, especially when he said, no, I truthfully feel like he needs to ease up on that. He always wanted to be a Guerrero, but never was. So he responded to that recently. And let's see if he doubled down. I'm just getting this now, guys. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to quote him live with you guys now. I did not pre-read this at all. Chavo, when asked about the reaction that he got after saying that Rey Mysterio is pretty much hanging on the legacy of Eddie Guerrero, like for clout in reaction, basically. Chavo was asked about the response he got. Chavo says, and I quote, "It was a little of tongue-in-cheek, and I was kind of joking around with it a lot, but people ran with it. After explaining how Eddie loved Rey like a brother, but that they weren't best friends as their relationship is sometimes framed. I was messing around," he says. "Personal issues draw money." He says. Personal issues draw money when asked if he and Rey would ever lock up stemming from this. He says, "I love Rey. I text Rey." He said, "I text Rey. I said, hey, it's not real heat. I'm not mad. It's just a work." So he actually texted Rey Mysterio that. I think the actual word that he used, why people got pissed off, was he said he's prostituting the name of Eddie Guerrero. And that's why people really got pissed. Like, dude, come on. If anybody's not doing that and actually keeping his legacy alive, more than you, Chavo, his own nephew, it's Rey Mysterio. So anyway, Chavo absolutely 1,000,000,000%. He didn't double down. He doubled back. He went back and he fucking picked up his own shit, basically. He picked up his own shit. That's good to see, man. To say Rey Mysterio is prostituting the Eddie Guerrero name just doesn't, it doesn't rock right with BC and so many others. Dax Harwood is talking about Vince McMahon not liking tag team wrestling and not utilizing them correct. So now we're just going to hear every anti-WWE thing from Dax. We already know this, Dax. Change the climate when you're there, bro. Instead, you go over to Tony. He doesn't even use you on Wednesday nights. And then when it's time to do a contract, a renewal, then you leverage. All of a sudden, WWE is an option. Now that you sign with AEW, all of a sudden WWE is the fucking anti-tag division again. Well, guess what? AEW is not doing that much better. Highly questionable tag decisions, like leaving you guys off of TV for the better part of 2022, like fucking taking the Acclaimed at their or headed toward their peak and absolutely just ripping the fucking heart out of them, taking the titles from them and stomping on their momentum. Highly questionable. Anyway, guys, that's some news. As I said, I'm just getting the ball bearings of the podcast back. I've been gone all weekend, so those are some news that are just coming in as well. Some things I want to talk about, some things I don't. So let's just go over the two main topics that I wanted to discuss. And that is, number one, Drew McIntyre. Now, a lot of people think the participation trophy was made solely for Cody Rhodes, so Roman doesn't have to lose to him and Roman doesn't have to give him the titles. That could absolutely be the case, by the way, in which case none of us who actually use common sense and logic and know what happened Sunday, April 2nd and how big of a botch that was, none of us is going to be along for the ride. Trust me, that's not struggle, that's not adversity. That's being fucking stupid. Telling everybody that there's more story to tell and then telling them, oops, just kidding. No, there's not, but Cody's going to start a new journey with that title. And in 2 years, maybe they'll cross paths again. See? Long-term storytelling. No, nobody's buying that shit. The belt could have also... The Consolation Prize Championship could have also been created to give to Seth Rollins so that Cody and Roman can somehow, even though they're on different brands, somehow do business in the future. And Sethington can get a championship. He just had the U.S. Championship a couple of times last year in this whole schmozzery with Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory that seemed to have never ended. In fact, it didn't. Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory are still taking on one another for that damn fucking title, that U.S. title. But Sethington somehow got his way out of it a little bit. No, Sethington was just taking on Austin recently too. What am I saying? So they create this fucking title. He didn't get that over with the U.S. title. So it could be Sethington, it could be Cody. But what we're hearing, and BC heard this, even Davey Meltzer, who I never agree with, I try not to take a bunch of his stories because you also have to take them with a grain of salt if you're going to. But even Meltzy's hearing this, man. And to hear something beforehand and then hear it from a different spectrum, there's got to be validity into what we are hearing. And I really hope they go this route. Hear me out. Drew McIntyre, and this is what it's doubling down on the story. Drew McIntyre is supposedly coming back ultra heel and is going to be the one to defeat Seth Rollins for the new WWE Championship, the Consolation Prize Trophy. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Again, this holds a lot more weight than you think because I was hearing this, that Drew is coming back as a heel and going to get a giant push. So this goes into the story we're hearing now that they want to place the title on him. Guys, I'm okay with this. I don't feel right about Cody getting that title at all, 100%. And I 75% bare minimum don't like Seth Rollins getting this championship. It feels like a consolation prize too much for these faces. But if you're telling me that Drew is going to come back and start steamrolling motherfuckers, that Drew McIntyre is going to capture this title, and it's Drew McIntyre is actually going to make this title meaningful by being an ultra diabolical heel, somebody that can ease the pressure off of Roman Reigns when he is not around as a diabolical full-time heel. Oh, we need that. We got faces right now pretty decently. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. But diabolical heels, we don't have them. They refuse to build LA Knight properly. Bray Wyatt is more tweener to face. We don't even know what the fuck he is. More on that when we get to the draft talk. But interesting, man. When you think about it, aside from Roman Reigns, who do you got? Solo Sikoa is going to play that secondary role for a few more months, bare minimum. Bare minimum. You ain't touching Solo's role in that in that company until at least SummerSlam. Omos, it ain't going to do it, bro. Brock Lesnar as a part-timer, and you don't even give him a reason as to why he's attacking Cody? Oh, yeah, that's starting off real well. I'm down with this decision, man. I never thought to do that, and then I started hearing about it several days ago, and then I hear the reports that it's going to be for the title is what they're talking about. That, when everybody thinks it's going to be Rollins, but it ends up being Drewby. Drewby beats Sethington. I like this, man. This would do wonders. And if you're going to do it, it'll do wonders for Drew McIntyre. But if you're going to do it full throttle amplified. You make Drew McIntyre a fucking beast. No smiling, no half and half, nothing. Drew McIntyre is a fucking diabolical heel to the top levels. Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins for the championship would throw the curveball of curveballs. People are thinking, oh, it's going to be Cody, and that's stupid. It's a consolation. People are thinking it's going to be Seth Rollins. That's stupid. It's a participation trophy. It's a runners-up title. But what if this new diabolical heel shows up in Drew McIntyre? Man, that could be good. Build that title up properly. Then when a face takes it, it has more substance and it has more value. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but Drew McIntyre could indeed be the next champion as a diabolical heel. Or at least a heel. We hope it's to an amplified diabolical level, man. But that is what we are hearing, guys. And if you're wondering BC's take on it, if you heard the rumors swirling around, I can confirm that those talks are happening. Because I knew about this days ago. I didn't know about the title portion of it. And it remains to be seen. It remains to be viewed if they're going to go that route. But I was absolutely hearing they got something big as a heel for Drew. I was sitting on it. If Meltsy Boy wants to open his mouth about that and then more info that he's hearing, then we might as well open up the lines of communication to this subject. Let me know how you guys feel about it. That is fucking huge if they're going to do that. And that would be the only way I can get behind this title. I'll tell you that right now. You got to do it right. Otherwise, if a face just wins it up front like a Cody or a Sethington, it's a participation runners-up. And it's going to take a lot more for me to ever feel some type of way about that championship. So that's the story on that. We're going to hear a lot more probably tonight because isn't Drew in tonight's pool of names eligible for the roster? Let's find out right now, guys. And first I want to go back to Friday night's draft picks. But first, let me at least let you guys know if Drew is in tonight's. No, they took him out. He was supposed to be. Or was he in Fridays? Maybe he was already drafted. I think he was part of Friday nights, guys. That's what it was. And he was drafted to Raw, I believe. I believe Drew McIntyre got drafted over to Raw, and I can't find the list now. I got it. So Raw's draft picks on Friday night was Cody Rhodes, Becky Lynch, Montez Ford and Dawkins, the Street Profits, IC title holder Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, all of Imperium, Matt Riddle, and Drew McIntyre. So he was already eligible on Friday and already picked. He was in round 3's pick, guys. Drew McIntyre. So there you go. It's sitting for him right there. And he would have to be Raw for that championship. Otherwise, they would have to go a Money in the Bank process. And then he would have to go there instead of Roman. That would be weird. So it's set up right now, guys, for exactly what we're hearing. He's on the Raw side already. Also on Raw was Shinsuke Nakamura in round 4 that got drafted. And Indy Hartwell in round 4 as well. The NXT Women's Champion was also drafted to Raw. Also, when SmackDown went off the air, guys, Monday Night Raw drafted the following participants. The following talent got drafted to Raw after SmackDown, so we have not had a chance to talk about this. Eric and Ivar and Van Halen, one of my favorite bands, their manager. Eric, Ivar, and Van Halen, the Viking Raiders, to Raw. Dexter Lumis, Raw. Candice LeRae stays on Raw. Mace, Massey, and Mansoor, and Maxine Dupree. All of the Maximum Male models stay on Raw. Zoe Starks. J.D. McDonut. I love donuts. Apollo Crews. Natalia. Sonya Deville. Chelsea Green. All on Raw. So Natalia is being sent over. Apollo Crews was NXT recently, so he'll be back on Raw. J.D. McDonut from NXT. Zoe Stark. They didn't even bother doing that on SmackDown. They just said Zoe Stark on WWE.com, as if people are going to know who she is if they don't watch NXT. I wish they would have made it more special. I think the most interesting part about the post-SmackDown Raw drafts is Candice LeRae and Dexter Lumis, because now you also have Indy Hartwell, the NXT Women's Champion, on Raw. So you have Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, Dexter Lumis, and Johnny Gargano is going to be drafted tonight. I expect him to obviously be on Raw. That's where his wife Candice is. And then you have the way, man. You have the old group in NXT that I thought was phenomenal in storylines. Indy Hartwell, her boyfriend, if you will, Dexter Lumis, Candice LeRae, and Johnny Gargano. Those four are incredible together. Maybe it looks like they're going to try to reshape that on Monday Night Raw. If I may go over to SmackDown, who was drafted during the show. I was live with you guys on Friday night. SmackDown's first draft was Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman, the Bloodline. And also Bianca Belair, Raw Women's Champion. Don't even get me started on that again. You guys know how I feel about it. I definitely told you how I felt about it in this video already, and I told you how I felt about it live on Friday night. But Bianca was sent over to SmackDown. Round 2, SmackDown drafted... Oh, you know what I did, guys? BC fucked up on. I said that Montez and Dawkins, the Street Profits, went to Raw earlier. They did not. They're SmackDown, guys. SmackDown. So Ford Dawkins was round 2 to SmackDown. My bad. Edge also in round 2 to SmackDown. And in round 3, SmackDown got Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Munchkin, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson, the OC. Good to see AJ Styles back where he belongs, like Edge on SmackDown. Bobby Lashley, we'll see if they actually give him proper booking. Otherwise, it won't matter what color the brand is that he's repping. Round 4, SmackDown brought in Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, Damage Control, and also the NXT tag title holders, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Huge statement. Bringing in Damage Control and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the NXT tag title holders, telling you that if there's going to be a women's tag division that people care about, it looks like it's going to be on SmackDown, or that's going to be the formation. Now, when SmackDown went off the air, going to SmackDown, drafted after SmackDown on WWE.com, Top Dollar, Ashante the Adonis, and B-Fab, all of Hit Row, and Lacey Evans drafted to SmackDown. So all of them are not leaving. They are staying on SmackDown. Free agents from the list of Friday night's roster participants: Omos, Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, and Von Wagner are the free agents that were not claimed on Friday. It looks like maybe they'll be added to Monday's eligible roster members for the draft. How the fuck Dolph Ziggler? That's how you know you've been booked badly. When Dolph Ziggler can't even make the first 5 rounds of drafts. You know it's bad when after SmackDown goes off the air and they do the WWE.com pity drafts. Those are the pity drafts. He can't even make the pity drafts. Dolph Ziggler is better than that, bro. It brings us to tonight, Monday Night Raw, May the 1st, 2023. These are the participants eligible for tonight's draft. Tozawa, Alpha Academy as a unit, Otis and Chad Gable. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. So Humberto and Angel together. Asuka. Asuka is in the draft tonight, eligible. Austin Theory. Baron Corbin. Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Just split them up, will you? They had the loss to the Viking Raiders on Friday. There's nothing for them to achieve here. There's nothing that's going to make people like BC think of them or look at them as a tag team. It's done. But they're a unit. Strowman, if you get one, you get the other. Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin. Charlotte Flair, Dana Brooke, Elias, Emma, Johnny Gargano, Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. Karrion Kross with Scarlett, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. That's interesting, guys. I know they're tag title holders, but they're treating them like like title holders could go to either brand as of now. But if you have to take both, then when they lose the tag titles, you better be committed to that. Because Owens and Zayn from here on out are going to be on the same brand, guys. They're coming together as a package. Owens and Zayn. L.A. Knight, yeah. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, NXT Women Tag holders. Nikki Cross, Piper Niven, Rhea Ripley, Rick Boogs, Riddick Moss. That's right, Riddick Moss, no longer called Madcap. That's a blessing, thank you. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Literally treating them as just a tag team. They're now a unit. Seth Rollins, Shotzi, Tamina, Tegan Nox. That's right, Tegan Nox. She's still around, guys, even though it doesn't seem it. Tamina. Oh, I already got Tamina. I got Tamina. The Brawling Brute, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch. The LWO, Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde. Also Zelina Vega. All of the LWO. You get one, you get them all. The New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. Even though Kofi is away on injury, he is still in this with Xavier. Of course, Big E is left out. Big E's injury. He will be not wrestling anytime soon. Unfortunately, we just hope he keeps rehabbing. Much love and respect over to Big E. He is not eligible. Trish Stratus, Xia Li, and select NXT superstars. We expect 2 to 3 more, bare minimum, because they have 3 extra spots for NXT talents. So, I guess it ain't even 2. They got 3. Let's say 3 at least NXT talents will be drafted, either on the show tonight or on the after show on WWE.com. Whew, that's a lot of names eligible tonight, guys. Obviously, the names that you did not hear, they're big. Not eligible yet again. They weren't eligible on Friday. They're not eligible tonight. Bray Wyatt, not eligible for this draft at all. So he will not be a superstar on either brand going forward. Whatever's going on with Bray, man, we hope for him the best. Because that's not, this ain't good, bro. And there's not even any word, guys. I'm like, what the fuck is even happening with him? And Alexa Bliss is another name that's not eligible, guys. Alexa Bliss, not eligible. I'll double check here, man. She definitely wasn't on Friday. No. And this is what I was hearing before the draft even took place. My people down in Florida were telling me that Bray and Alexa don't expect to see him in this draft. Well, they were right. As I said, Big E as well is not. One of the big names, Asuka is, though. So that'll clear up any talk that we talked about earlier. No, she's there, guys. She's teasing it. She said red or blue on her social. Xia Li is a big question mark here. I hope after this draft they do something huge with Xia Li. She's too fucking good to be at the bottom of anybody's list. Literally and figuratively, because her name starts with an X. She's the last name on this fucking list. And it's like Hunter Hearst Helmsley treats her in last place all the time. It's fucking pathetic. She's too good. Tegan Nox, Shotzi, good luck with them. It doesn't look like this company has too much stock in them. L.A. Knight, yeah. Man, do I hope he gets the catapult. If BC was giving you his top 5 picks, it would go as follows. If they were still on the board each round. My first pick on this whole Monday night eligibility list, My first pick would not be Seth Rollins, guys. In fact, I would be smart, as I usually fucking try to be anyway. I try to be. When it comes to wrestling, I naturally am. But we'd use common sense and logic. If I'm getting a 2-for-1 with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, then this is a no-brainer. I'm getting a 2-for-1. You're going to act like they're a tag team because they got the titles. I get it. But these are two big-name singles individuals, bro. Singles competitors. I'm getting a 2-for-1 in this draft. I'm picking Kevin Owens and Sami fucking Zayn, 2-for-1. And my second picks would also be a 2-for-1 if they're still on the table. The fucking Usos, Jimmy and Jay. They are fucking electric right now. Jey Uso could literally be main event Jay on his own, and I'd buy into it. So I would actually have the Usos second after Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which come as a unit as well. My third pick, it would still not be Seth Rollins, guys. It would be L.A. Knight. Yeah. And I would put him, no offense, Cameron Grimes. No, I don't mean to take your I don't mean to take your catchphrase, but I would skyrocket L.A. Knight to the moon, baby. In fact, you could see Cameron Grimes as one of those NXT mystery spots. Could be Cameron Grimes. He's been ready for months. They just had nothing for him. They've been waiting. So LA Knight would be my third. So it would be Owens and Zayn as one. First, Uso second, and then LA Knight third. My fourth would still not be Seth Rollins. It would be Asuka. And then number 5, Seth Rollins. Wouldn't be Brock Lesnar. Lesnar's too part-time for me. And they're just in flux on what to even do with this guy. Charlotte Flair would definitely not even be in my top 10. In fact, I'd be working on something with... I'd be working with individuals to make sure that she is not on my roster. Sorry, not sorry, man. Let her go collect titles elsewhere. Charlotte would not be in my top 10 or 15, most likely. I would create actual stars that are going to connect. People like Xia Li. I would try my very best with Shotzi. I would take the LWO, who are some of the best merchandise sellers right now, and really try to make something out of them. Riddick Moss, I would make him forget about, and all of us forget about Madcap real quickly by proper booking. Rick Boogs, I'm firmly behind. He would be before Charlie even. Liv Morgan, I'm strongly behind. If I got to bring Raquel along with her for the ride, whatever, as long as I get Liv Morgan. So that's it, guys. Most of those names are going to be drafted tonight, and then a lot actually could be drafted on the post show because that's a lot of names. We'll find out tonight. BC will be right back with you tomorrow with the Raw review. But that's a little bit of a mock draft for BC, who I would choose in the first 5 rounds at least, and that's the full eligibility list for tonight. Of course, added on to that, guys, is the free agents that were not drafted on Friday. Nobody wanted them. Omos, Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, Von Wagner. We'll see. Omos is that wild card. I don't think it's nobody that they didn't exactly know where to put him yet. I think they have big plans for this dude. And if you've seen recent podcasts, you know what those are. I don't even want to talk about them again. Just get ready. Prepare yourself for Hurricane Omos. But you could be seeing something big with him. So I think right now they're trying to see the best avenue to get him to where they need him to be. Because they know just doing any little weird shit lately, we're starting to resist that. Even your WWE tribalist fans, they're starting to question this shit and call it out. So I think we're forcing them slowly but surely to get a little bit more better, more creative, if that's even possible. Get creative, bare minimum of creativity, but start caring about what you're doing. Start making it make sense. I think we're starting to get through to them, guys. A little bit, we'll take it. Guys, I kept you here well more than an hour. I was not even supposed to go an hour, but it's my first day back from a long weekend. First podcast of May. I felt we really had to deliver. We went above and beyond. That's amped up for Monday, May 1st, 2023. Stay amplified because we're coming right the fuck back quicker than you think. And we're going to talk Monday Night Raw's review for tonight's Monday, May 1st show. BC's going to be back with you. Maybe we can do that live. We'll see. But we're going to talk all about the draft, who went where, what's your matches, what were the promos that captivated us, did they get interesting? and fucking start to tell stories outside in the parking lot, maybe down by the fucking river, at a bar, in a supermarket. Was this a complete Monday Night Raw? I know you want to laugh, but we're hoping, man. We're hoping that this is a good Raw tonight. The draft brought a little bit, at least, of interest to Friday night. Will that happen from Monday Night Raw? We'll see. So that's what I got for you guys. Much love and respect to all my channel members, my gold card members. There was a few new members that came on over the weekend. I'm going to do a full roll call in a podcast coming up. I kept you guys here too long right now, but stay listening to these podcasts coming up. I'm going to give a full roll call, an up-to-date list of my channel members, man. So be on the lookout for that as well. Much love and respect to all you guys. I love this. Mark Henry doesn't understand why WWE split up Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Just like we started the show in the cold open. Going over the Cody Roman situation because of everything that's been falling out ever since, especially this weekend in the draft. So we have to keep talking about it. I love how people that once thought it was a good idea for Cody to lose at Mania, I love how now they're befuddled about what WWE is doing. Somebody in this community tried to tell you that. Somebody tried to wave the red flag. A lot of people didn't want to listen. Thankfully, a shit ton did, and they became amplified unit members. You guys are the best. Smash that shit up on the way up, man. On the way out. Up on the way out. That's it. That's how it goes. Smash up on the way out. Help out the algorithm. BC, top guy, I'm out. Saying check you. Think, be, live, amped always. Till next time. And there will be a next time. Salute.